30 seconds to go, and it's Friday's afternoon. I think this is 12:10. Get rolling. Stage 4. This race. Oh, this was a very amazing race. It's me, BB, and Tandem to start off with that we're in this race. The rest of the competitors were pretty good. I did a lot of drafting off of this thing. I really drafting off this. I really enjoyed this race. We're down to 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. And as you see, I come out the gates pretty hard on this, but the only reason I came out the gates, like I told y'all, to get me started. Today is Saturday. I did the voiceover right after I did the Class C. I did the Cat C Tiny Insiders today, and I want to admit, them guys are beasts, man. It's different riding with them. I'm gonna post this up. This should be up around 8 o'clock this morning. I'm going to ride with the I'm gonna ride with the category D at 11 o'clock on the Tiny Race Insiders, so I could post one and the other behind each other to show the difference. But man, them races are totally different at that class. The times I put up, I think I put up slower times than normal than on the other one, because it wasn't a deflating race. It was just a race that where once I started and tried to keep up, it just became one of them things where I was like, wow, man. Race 2 I did pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Race 2 did it pretty good. But the difference is right now in category D, my legs and my weight are getting to the point where I can push for a while, and I can kind of make up for where I weigh on up to about 5% inclines, and then people start to really kind of catch up to me. But I realized the difference, and I said something a while back that when I did these, I've been doing these get rollings this month. That I'm sorry, there's still no way I can keep up with them. The Class C on this, no. I learned that today. I know people talk about experiences being humbling. It wasn't so much of a humbling experience. It's more of a educational experience. I'm not even gonna call it it was more of a, because you learn that these guys are really good at what they're doing. I think D categories, like I said before, is a developmental category. If you're a lighter rider and you start building your endurance, the system automatically, because of what you're putting out, pushes you up. But if you're a heavier rider, you're building endurance, but you're still heavy, it kind of lets you hold yourself down until you get good enough to get up there with them guys. Now, on flat races, like I said, the reason I talk about the flat races with them is because I did a flat race with them. And on the flat race, it was a pretty good run. The number 2 race on that one was pretty good. But that number 3 and that number 1, oh man, they were monsters, man. They were monsters, and I gotta just praise them, man. They give them flowers, man. Class C is a whole different beast. There's no sense in me doing B and A. It really ain't. I may do C the rest of this month coming up, and just do A and just do D on 11 o'clock runs. But man, trying to do that and move, no. I'm not even gonna let nobody, nobody gonna pull the wool over my eyes on me going to test the waters. Thank you, BB, for that. I'm gonna do it the rest of this month. But BB, you was right, man. It gives you a chance to test yourself, man. You give you a chance to see where you at. Give you a chance to see how you're doing. I figure over this next month, I'm gonna do pretty good. Now, like I said, on this race, I'm backing off of it because it's a pretty long race, so I'm doing a lot more commentary about other stuff that was going on. I ran 2 of these this day. I ran one that morning, which because I ran so many races this week, I'll post that tomorrow. Normally I don't post on Sunday, but I get together and post it Sunday or Monday, depends. But we ran this race, and from the get-go, I knew I was gonna draft off of them. I knew BB and Tandem were gonna be there to draft off of, so I decided that while we were riding, I'm just gonna ride with them. You see other people keeping up with me, keeping up with us, but for the most part, I knew by the time we got about halfway through this thing and at the speed we're going for Class D, Category D, I figured most of them was gonna back off somewhat and just fall back. So I didn't worry about it. I just said I was gonna maintain a slower pace, which if you notice, I really did. The only time I got in front of him is when we was going downhill. For the most part, I backed off and let them ride in front of me. I still have a timing issue with when it comes to sprinting at the end, and plus the wattage output. I'm learning that I need to adjust because I don't have gears. So there's a knob on my bike that I turn to get a restraint. So as I push harder, I can pedal out more. I need that. I need to start really figuring out how to. I need to start adjusting the knob at the end of the race so I can put more power out. Because by the end of the race, I'm starting to notice, even though I'm doing really good, my legs are a little bit more tired, so I had to push a little bit harder to get the energy I want out of them. Now on this one, BB pulled out in front of us and was rolling. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of catch back up with him and draft for him. And once he did that, I think that was the beginning and the end with everybody else around us. Because once he did that and we all caught up to him, it just became one of the races where we was just riding, man. We was on this thing just going. And you see him, we drafted out each other for the most part the rest of the race. I know the aqueducts were coming up and I was worried about him getting a hit too far ahead of me, but I've gotten better that those kind of hills don't bother me as much. Not from the first time. When I first ran that aqueduct, it killed me. It really did. But now it's not that way anymore. You see, I held that feather all the way to see, the thing is, I had a feather. I could have used the feather earlier, but I was risking not having, even though I knew it may give me another feather, I wasn't sure. So I held on to that feather. I could have hit it here and got another one, but I was thinking if I got a helmet or something, it wouldn't have helped me as much. I knew that we had another one at the top of the hill, so it just made more sense for me to hold on to that feather until we get to the aqueducts. I think that's what they call aqueducts. So we're riding pretty good, and like I said, we all drafted off each other, and I would let them get in front because I did last night. The reason I got on my red now, because last night, the night before, Thursday night, I did the team time trials. And we drafted, and I'm learning the difference between drafting off each other and just being in front. So that's what I did. I tried to do more of the drafting. Now, when we went down here, I didn't mind getting, because I would come off the pedals a lot more, and I would let them get in front of me. The only time I sped up is like when we hit a little incline so that they didn't ride off away from me. So it really pays a lot to draft off of each other. It really does. See, now when we get to aqueduct is when I put a little power into it, because I put the feather on, I put a little power into it. So I just get up the hill. And I know on the other side of aqueduct that we were gonna go downhill, so I can get all the energy that I spent here, I can actually get it back. So that's all I was waiting on here. And we get through there, and I think I need to figure out once I'm at peak speed to start hitting the helmet. Not right away, but at peak speed, that's when I need to hit the helmet. So I will wait on that. Next time I get up to about 50, I'll hit the helmet then, and then it give me a lot more coasting down. But you see, I pull back, and I just ride with this thing. It's a real nice ride. And you see, BB comes by us and he flies by us, and he just makes sure he stays in his spot and I stay in mine. And we ran this race pretty good, man. I feel like I left a little bit on the table on this race because, and maybe that's because I did try to draft off of them. I wasn't trying to get in front of them. I was trying to stay at a certain pace just to stay behind them. You know, we ride mostly in a line. All of us just ride kind of in a line. We'll get in a line and we'll just ride. And I was just trying to stay. Now, the one thing I'm noticing is Zwift play kind of push, even though I don't use it, it'll push me out of alignment. I get right behind them, and I figure if I didn't have it hooked up, I would just ride right behind them. I used to just, before I got Zwift play, you could just ride behind somebody. You ride up behind them, and you just stay in that drift area, and you just ride behind them, and I enjoyed that. That's the one thing I enjoyed. So we're riding, and we're doing good, and I figured that at 2 kilometers, I was gonna start putting in a little bit more power and start pulling away. I think I did it at 1 kilometer in. I kind of held off because I was like, you know what, I want the benefit of just riding the draft with them. So you see, I kept keeping it closed, and I just wanted the benefit because it gave me a chance to stay under 400. And you see, we're riding at 38, 40 kilometers. I'm at 300. And every once in a while it dips up because we hit a little hill or something. But I just stay right there in that area, that comfortable zone right there. And we just ride back and forth with each other. And then it gives me, I forgot what it gave me on this, I think it gave me a speed helmet. So we kind of just wrote this thing right out behind each other on here, and I was feeling good. My legs were feeling great. My heart, you see, I'm inching up, but that's because the race is getting a little long, so you know your heart got to kind of push a little harder. But for the most part, I'm at 150. I'm getting to the point now where I can ride 165 heart rate, and I'm doing fine. I really am. I'm in a comfortable zone. I feel great. I'm looking at tandem in front of me. I tell you what, I enjoy when I get the us together and ride. I miss Price. I think Price had to move up because of the category thing. But man, with us, it's just one of them races where I'm riding, I'm going, okay, this is gonna be a nice, enjoyable ride. I'm enjoying the ride. I'm out in front, and I'm not trying to really leave nobody. I'm just trying to really just stay at pace with them. So we're doing really good. And if you see, the only reason I'm out front now because we down to under 5 kilometers, so I can kind of I'm not trying to lead them, I'm just trying to keep a steady pace. And I'm thinking he's gonna get in front of me, and when he gets in front of me, I kind of it dips back, and when it dips down, it kind of pushes me forward no matter what I'm doing. So instead of hitting the brakes or something, I kind of ease off the pedal, but I don't want to ease off too much because then I start to fall behind. So I just kind of keep a steady pedal. You notice it's 82, 81. I just try to keep a steady pedal in there so I stay with them. I don't even worry about speeding up until, like I say, a kilometer in. And we're pushing it. We really are pushing. And now we're into these turns, and because the turns are kind of flat, but they give me a boost when they turn real sharp. You notice they give me a boost. And when they give me a boost, I just kind of keep with it. So I'm not trying to leave them. It's just more of me keeping a steady pace on them turns. It just feels more, when I hit in them turns, I noticed this is like my third race now, fourth race. It just feels more comfortable. And we're riding, and I'm thinking, okay, in my head, I'm thinking, man, I can win this thing. I hadn't put it out in mind. I knew we were gonna be close in the end, but I'm like, I may be able to pull this thing out again. I've beaten Tandem one time. I've beaten Tandem and BB a couple of times, but I'm thinking, okay, cool, I can pull this thing out. And I'm getting really excited. I let my excitement get to me a little bit. You can see my heart rate starting to pump up a little bit. We're doing really good. I gotta start backing off still a little longer. I gotta believe in the process. That's what it is. I'm starting to learn the process. I gotta believe in the process. So he's right there in front of me, and I'm just trying to keep up. We all just ride, man. This is one hell of a ride. And I'm thinking to myself, man, we get to the opener. Cause I know we're coming up close to the end when we get down into that turn. And I'm thinking to myself, when we get to that turn, it's gonna be one of those things where, okay, it's gonna be a battle to the end. So it's me and Tandem. I'm like, okay, cool, we're going. We finna get this thing, we're gonna make this last turn right here. And I'm getting excited, man. And then this happens. No, it was so close to my hands. I had it. Oh man, I was like, no. But man, it was a great race. I ended up coming up in second. I thought Tandem got me right there, but it was a great race. Ride on. Have a great day.